So next is E-stem. That's electric. So it's electric acupuncture. Some people call it electro-acupuncture. Basically, they put the little pins in you and then they attach these little alligator clips and it sends electricity through it, right? Now, there are different types of electricity. There's something called TENS units, and then there's microcurrents. So what's the difference? TENS units are like, you know, when you go to physical therapy and they put these little pads, right? That is a TENS unit. So if you imagine our bodies, our cells, our nerves communicate with each other, right? Let's say that they communicate at this wavelength. Well, a TENS unit communicates at this wavelength. And the purpose of the TENS unit is to suppress the message in your nerves, right? That's why TENS units are, very good for pain, because if you imagine this is pain, your cells are communicating. You're like, oh, I'm in pain, I got back pain, right? And then the TENS unit comes in and pushes that pain signal, message down. So it drops it down to here, so you feel less pain. So that's what a TENS unit does. So that's why it's not effective for neuropathy. If you go to an acupuncture clinic and they connect a TENS unit to your needles, it's not really helping you, all right? It can help you with your burning, maybe, and your pain, but it's gonna do nothing for your tingling and your numbness. This definitely won't help your numbness, okay? And it won't help restore nerve, regenerate your nerve. Now, a microcurrent, that's a little different. So a microcurrent doesn't communicate at a TENS, right? A microcurrent would communicate at the same wavelength as your nerves. So let's say a normal nerve communicates at this wavelength. You can say a wavelength, like if I talk really loud like this is a high wavelength, right? Or if I talk normal, that's a normal wavelength. Or if I talk like this, and this is a soft wavelength, right? So you can think of wavelengths like that, like the intensity of it, right? So let's say normal is like what I'm talking to you right now. So this is a normal communication, right? So this is normal. And a microcurrent, it can communicate at the same wavelength. If someone uses a electro acupuncture, you want them to use a microcurrent, right? The microcurrent you typically won't feel. The TENS unit you will feel, like prickling, stinging, and your muscles will pulsate, right? Or contract, right? So you want to find someone that uses a microcurrent. Now, there's difference in microcurrent. We use something in our clinic called nerve reboot therapy, because there's different microcurrent devices. Oh yes, why does that have to be so complicated? Yeah, I know. All right, so this is your normal way of communication. Your body communicates like this. I'm just giving you as an example, okay? Now the difference in the microcurrents, so the microcurrent device that the acupuncture clinic uses, they may communicate in the same wavelength, same wavelength as in the same level, okay? They may communicate like this in the same level, but look at that. It's like opposite message, right? It doesn't match your communication. So it's like, let me give you an example. It's like I'm speaking English right now, but what if I spoke to you in Chinese, right? For those of you who don't speak Mandarin, right? And I spoke to you in Chinese, you're not going to understand. So if you don't understand, then you're not going to receive the message, right? So that's typically what most people use. What most acupuncture clinics use, they use a microcurrent that speaks a different language, right? And so that's why in our clinic, we found a device that can actually speak your nerves' same language. How cool is that? And we call that nerve reboot therapy. Can you see why my clinic gets better results? Because all of these things matters, okay? So that's electro acupuncture.